What is happening, everybody?
It has been a long time, folks. A lot has
been a
happened.
while. Yes.
Things have happened. We've been places. You got married.
I got hitched.
I warned Liz.
I know. She's a glutton for punishment.
That explains why she married you.
So,
but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about
knives.
We like knives.
That knife show 23.
We think.
And our knife of the show is our brand new Bob Terzula design Maximo, and this is our exclusive right here in the red fat carbon, lava flow fat carbon. Textured, yeah. So that's something we haven't really done yet.
No.
On any of our exclusives is have that textured fat carbon. So that's a really cool new step. M390 on the blade steel, got the glass breaker in the back, comes with the flat screw that you can replace it with. So really, really cool knife right there. It's ambi thumb studs. It's also flipper, super smooth. Just a beautiful knife all around. So check those out. That's a brand new exclusive that just dropped last week. So we're really, really super stoked about that one. That's our knife of the day right there, and our knife of the show.
Knife of the show. But they have to do something.
What's that?
You didn't tell them to. Thumbs up.
I know. I was about to. I was getting to that. Before we get started with this knife show, though, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you will know when we drop new videos and bring you new knife shows like this.
So many knives.
We've got a ton of new knives, and we've also got our picks. As always, it's going to be me and Greg. Stay tuned.
It's me.
Now, without further ado, let's light it up. All right,
we're back. We didn't discuss where we're starting.
We've got,
We have stuff.
We do. We have a ton of stuff. And we're actually, you know what? We're going to start off this show. We're going to go through it. We're not going to mix it up at all. And I tell you what, this is, as I'm looking at this, as far as the new knives that we've got to show you, it's all traditionals. Is all traditionals.
Sort of.
With the exception of our knife of the show right here, this exclusive Maximo. These are
Bob Terzula?
Bob Terzula, yeah.
Terzula design.
And these are all going to be traditional folders until we get to our picks. So we've got a ton of new traditional folders, and we're going to start off with our Rough Riders. And so let's just go right into it with the new Highlands. We've got a couple of new ones that we haven't really showed on the channel. The first one being the Black Micarta Razor Lock. And this thing's really cool. We haven't really done a razor lock before, not in recent memory.
No.
I mean, there might be some old patterns out there, but out of the ones that are currently in production, this is the first razor lock we've had in a really long time.
Being that one-arm banded design with that lock back, that beautiful black micarta with the red underlines on it, it's a really eye-catching. I like that.
And it almost falls right there. I like when it doesn't fall because I'm tempted to, when it does fall, to use that. And then I have a tendency to
hurt yourself.
Cut myself. Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Well, this is one of the few that you're going to find in the Rough Riders that does not have that half stop to it. So that makes it singled out. It's also got the slant R bolsters on it, pinch bolsters as well. And I love the badge on this one, that the double R in there. I really like it. It makes it stand out even more. And it's summertime. We're all wearing shorts. Carrying a traditional knife, one of them in your pocket, well, 3 or 4 of them for most of us, still makes it easier than, and you don't have anywhere to put all the clips and everything on the swim shorts and all that. You know, your knife might get caught in the sand and the waves.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways,
and then, I don't know, you come back and your friend has to take it apart for you and figure out, this actually needs to be filed down because you got sand in the ceramic ball bearings, and then you ended up scraping a groove into the blade tang.
Not that we're calling anybody out.
Yeah, right. Really cool knife, though, and this one's coming in with 440 stainless steel on the blade right there. And
$14.99.
$14.99. That's fantastic.
It's a great one, and we actually have a second one in the Highland series.
Yes,
and you save another $1 because it's only $13.99.
So, and before we move on to that one, I love listening to lockbacks.
You do
pop out. So we're gonna put this one in the mic. Mm-hmm. It's just satisfying.
It is.
It really is. I almost cut my mic cable. You wouldn't have been able to hear me for the rest of this program.
Just so you know, I would not have told him we would have done this entire thing the rest of the way through, and then he would have gone to edit it later and went, oh.
Right. So the next one is also from the Highland series, and it's a single blade doctor's knife. Mm-hmm. So you're talking still G10 handles, red underliners, still got that double R shield right there, like the badge, got the slant R bolster, and those are going away. So for those of you that absolutely hate those, the slant R's are going away. Black Micarta, excuse me. Black Micarta. Did I say G10?
You did.
I meant Black Micarta.
I know what you meant, but I know what you said, too.
Yeah.
You did this to me the other day on the Wasp series because Wasp were VG10 instead of 440.
Right. Yes. This one does have the half stops and a great little doctor's knife. I think I've been really gravitating towards more single blade knives, especially in traditional folders, and really love.
You're getting to a certain age now. That's what it is.
Yeah, we convert ourselves.
We do.
And the blade to handle ratio is really interesting on this one.
It's very classy looking to me.
It's super classy. It's like the traditional folder version of the CEO. Mm-hmm. But I mean, this is just a classic doctor's knife. I like the flat back end right there. Just like on our pipe doctor, you can use that as a tamper. So I think that's really cool. And coming in at $13.99.
$13.99. It's perfect for a Sunday carry. It's a great gift. And for Isaac, it does come with the magnetic box on those, so it does work really well for a gift on those.
We got to do this one in honor of Isaac right here.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on.
Now the lockback's more satisfying, but the magnetic box is very nice.
Absolutely. And we've got one more Rough Rider to talk about here.
And one of your favorite patterns.
Yeah. So I love the Tough Staglon, whatever you want to call it. And this one's really cool. So
it's down on number 6.
Yeah. This one's coming in at under $10, $9.99.
I thought when I first pulled that up, I thought that was a error and I had to double check.
Right.
Nope, it's correct.
And we've got a lot of people out there that are collectors of the peanut pattern. Mm-hmm. And, oh, yeah.
I think Mike Curtis is a peanut collector.
And with good reason. I mean, they're really cute little knives. They're really cool little knives. Mm-hmm. And they come in so many different variations. This one is the Tough Stag or Staglon peanut right there from Rough Rider. It's the newest one from the Rough Rider series, R2372, from that Tough Stag series. And coming in at just $9.99. Let's take a look at that one up close. So we're talking about the traditional peanut pattern. And this one's coming in with 440A on the stainless steel clip point and pin blade. Got the matte stripe pulls. Mirror polish finish. The handles are that Staglon synthetic stag with brass pins and liners, nickel silver bolsters, and the nickel silver shield. It is 2.75 inches closed and weighs in at just 1.2 ounces. So a really cool little, I would say, for me, this would be a beater EDC that's going to be a really cool little pattern. If
you've ever thought about getting into doing carving and anything else like that, Peanut's a great little carving knife, detail knife. The attention to detail on this with that extra that they did on the shield on it and the swedging on the pen blade.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody swedges a pen blade ever.
Right.
And that one, it makes it a little hard to get a hold of sometimes, but once you get used to it, that matte strike pull makes it very easy to pull.
Yeah.
And great small size, attention to detail, great fifth pocket knife or anything along those lines.
Oh, yeah. And see, that's one thing that I've been gravitating towards as well, is keeping a traditional folder in my fifth pocket there, that little pocket watch pocket or whatever you want to call it.
Change pocket. I never have cash on me anymore, so might as well put a knife there.
And I think this makes a perfect size for a little whittler.
And you won't have any cash anymore either. You got married again. So
exactly,
that's a great place to put that. Great little whittler, great little attention to detail knife while you're whittling. So
yeah.
I like that.
So I think this one's going to give you a lot of control if you like to make little figurines or something like that. I think that's really cool. So that one's coming in at $9.99 for that Tough Stag Peanut right there from Rough Rider.
Now, is that $9.99 or $999?
$9.99. Okay.
It's very confusing sometimes.
So we're rolling right along.
We are.
And now we're going to go across the pond to Italy for these next few traditionals right here. And these are some really cool brand new ones that we just got in from Mercury. So these are all made in Italy. And we've got some really interesting multi-tool knives. And I'm going to start it off with this Mercury right here with the stag handles. And this thing is absolutely gorgeous and a really, really cool knife. And as soon as we got it in, I was just enamored with this thing.
I think you were the first person to get it out of box.
Yes, I was. I absolutely was. So we're going to take a look at this one up close. So this one's going to be the Mercury Range 980 Stag 4 implement knife.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was going to ask you about this steel because that's a steel I am not familiar with, the Z50CD15.
So that's going to be a primarily a European stainless steel. It's typically referred to as inox, and that's actually what they put on the blade here.
Okay. And now, inox I'm more familiar with. I didn't know the actual spelled out version.
Yeah.
So cool.
So, and I mean, so in Europe, they refer to several different stainless steels as inox. But this is going to be one of those, is that Z50CD15. And like I said, it's typically going to be a European stainless steel, been used for years now, and very durable, great for especially knives like this and multi-tools like this. So this one's coming in. So you've got the drop point blade, you've got the saw with the opener, the disgorger blade is what they're calling it, and also got the corkscrew on the backside right here.
I'm going to go because that it has a corkscrew. That disgorger blade is for grapes. That's what it's going to be.
It
like
makes
sense.
And also, this is going to be a flathead screwdriver, the end on the saw blade right here.
That.
Yeah. So they've done a really good job.
That's a lot of
making
a lot of tools in one knife.
And this is genuine stag on the handles.
And it is thick.
It is. It's super thick. So let's show that. You can see how thick the stag is right there. And this is coming in with stainless steel bolsters and liners, brass pins. It's also got the keychain ring. It is 3.93 inches closed and weighs just 5.99 ounces. Made in Maniago, Italy.
For everything that's there, that is not heavy.
And this one's coming in also for everything that's there. And, this is another cool feature. So this is a lockback. Mm-hmm. So you'll see this right here is kind of a button to disengage.
Who's got the button?
Who's got the button? The world for a button. To disengage the blade right there. So when you open this main blade, it is locked in place.
Too.
Yeah, super smooth.
Very nice.
Super smooth. I got to get the sound. Yep. It passes the sound test.
Y'all didn't know that you're going to be listening to an ASMR knife channel, did you?
Right. I'm really digging this knife. And another really cool feature on this knife is its price. So you're looking at great stainless steel on the blades and tools. You're looking at genuine stag on the handles, really thick stag stock, and really good quality, made in Italy. Mm-hmm. The price, it's under $100, $91.99, $91.99. I mean,
for that size stag, for that many tools, for everything coming with it, that is a really good deal. And
I think it's phenomenal.
It takes place. It's got your knife. It's got your, and that. If you could not see the up close on that saw, that thing can definitely get through some branches. And things.
Yeah, absolutely. Phenomenal saw blade. So really, really digging that knife, and we're gonna keep on rolling with that Mercury train right there.
Let's stay in Italy. I think I want some spaghetti for lunch.
and we've still got more multi-tools from Mercury and from Maniago. This one's going to be a 3-blade, so very similar to that last one, except this one's not going to have the corkscrew. And it is going to be a lock back on that main blade, but the main blade is going to be on the inside in the middle of these 3 implements instead of on the outside.
Instead of that push button, because it's open on the back, it's a more traditional lock back.
Yeah. So you open that up, and this is coming in with the same blade steel. And this one's more of a recurve style drop point blade. So if you look at that, that's really interesting.
I think I've seen that on a lock back before.
Right. It's a very understated recurve, but it is a recurve nonetheless. And because it's so understated, it's going to make it a little bit easier than a traditional recurve to sharpen. But I really, really dig this blade shape and what they've done with this knife. Let's take a look at that one up close. So you got the drop point recurve right there. That one is a lock back. So you just push that down, disengages. Open it right there. It's also got the saw blade, just like the last one, with the flathead screwdriver on the end right there, as well as the bottle opener right there.
And really aggressive on that saw again.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to
super
be able to
sticky. And then it's also got the disgorger blade, degorger, whatever. However you pronounce that. I'm not really familiar with that, to be honest with you. But yeah, that reminds me more of like a Victorinox like floral knife or something like that is what it reminds me of.
I was looking at it kind of almost like a mushroom knife as well, just not that aggressive.
Right.
Somebody out there knows. Let us know down in the comments below. We appreciate it. We're always looking to learn, and just because that we don't know, doesn't mean that you all don't know. We want to tell you things. We want you to tell us things. And I really dig the wood on this one as well.
Yeah. So that wood is going to be it's Santos wood.
Santos.
So this is a 3-implement hunting knife. Technically 5, if you count. You know, you've got the 2 blades, you've got the saw blade, you've got the flathead, and you've got the bottle opener right there. Again, made in Maniago, Italy. This one's 4.52 inches closed and weighs 5.64 ounces, and that one is coming in at $65.99.
That shows how great a deal the other one is with Stag, and how much detail they put into this one as well. To keep that weight down between the 2 of them, the cost down between the 2 of them, and their attention to detail from any of the Italian knife makers has really, really surprised me the last couple of years.
Phenomenal value.
They really are. Now, this is one I've been looking forward to. I've not seen the Voyager, but I saw the Rover. So this one, when I was a kid, we used to call these hobo knives.
Right.
I don't think we can say that anymore.
So, these are what, everybody knows as a hobo knife. So this one's going to be the Voyager. This one in particular is in the red aluminum. We've also got them in blue, green. We've got several different colors. I don't remember all of the different colors, but you got a spoon.
And that is a generous size spoon, too.
You've got your fork. You've got your knife right there, which... Okay, I don't know if we're going to be able to pick this up on camera or not, but you'll see that the knife actually has...
is that serrated?
Kind of. So this end is going to be more like a very sharp butter knife, but very tiny.
Like an oxymoron.
Very tiny, tiny serrations. So to make it more like almost sawtooth.
Yeah, looking at it from this angle, I can see that, and I do not know whether the Rover version of that had that or not. I'd never even thought to look for that.
And then right about here, it changes to a traditional bevel.
Oh yeah, that is awesome.
That's super sharp right there. So very interesting design on that piece right there.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. You've got your bottle opener right there with the flathead screwdriver. On this side, I don't have fingernails right now. You've got your awl right there.
Very underrated tool.
Which is very handy. I use an awl quite a bit, working with leather, especially being a horseman. if I have an issue with some of my tack or something like that, need to punch a hole in leather, even punching a hole in a belt loop, or in a belt, excuse me, because I've put on some weight and need an extra hole.
How many margaritas do you have?
Yeah. Anyways,
well, for me, for scouts, I use it a lot for canvas.
Absolutely.
And stitching canvas, or if the kids, I don't know how they manage to rip canvas all the time, but they do. And there you go.
And so it's also got the corkscrew right there. But wait, there's more. You're going to have these pop apart. So those can pop apart simply for the purpose of having two eating utensils separate right here. So you can have your two separate eating utensils right there. And
these are made in Italy. So do you do the Italian thing where you eat the spaghetti with the spoon, you twirl it with your fork and then put it in the spoon?
No, I just twirl it against my plate and then pick it up with my fork.
I'll pick it up with the garlic bread. Make a spaghetti sandwich or a spaghetti taco.
Okay. Now I'm hungry. But that's a really cool feature for this really neat little camp knife right here. Just slides and pulls apart. You've got two separate implements right there. And it comes with
fork, spoon and knife.
Yep.
Whichever.
And it comes with the nylon sheath, the carry sheath right there. I think that's a phenomenal pack knife, a phenomenal camping knife. This might not be one that I personally would carry on me, but it would definitely go in my camping bag.
Bug out bag, camping bag, and the fact that they give it to you where you can attach it to your molly or anything else, you don't have to have it on your hip.
Right. And, this is another one of those, like, I would probably keep this in my work bag.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've been at work and been getting ready to eat something.
How many times have you stolen a plastic spoon or something from my desk?
Absolutely.
Because I keep them all the time. And so that one, the price on these, $46.99.
$46.99.
It's worth that for me just so he stops stealing all my spoons.
I think that's a really cool deal, and that's something that I would keep in my bag just to have. I currently keep a K-bar.
Yep.
Little plastic K-bar spork in there, and this is actually going to be smaller and have more tools on it. So I really dig that.
I got the kids the K-bar spoons with the hole in it. That way they can drink their milk with their cereal. They love that.
So that's some really cool stuff.
Again, $46.99, different colors. That way, if you're buying it for a gift, whether the person likes red, blue, green, go to the website, take a look at them all. We got the links down below. And I know where we're going next.
Yep. We're coming back to this side of the pond.
Don't worry, I'm wearing the hat. You can't get mad at me.
And we're going to case. And the first one we're going to do is the vault pattern for this year. And this is the red composition Swell Center Jack. And everybody's been really anxious to get these Swell Centers in their hand.
Composition? I did not realize
it is.
It is so well done.
It is super smooth. And this one's coming in with their new carbon steel blades. So a lot of people have been talking. A lot of people have been talking online. The chrome vanadium's going away, and they're going to be using their carbon steel. Chrome vanadium, that was a carbon steel as well, but this one is actually going to be called carbon steel. And let's take a look at this one up close. I am really, really digging this vault pattern right here. Great for collectors. A lot of people, especially I think peanut collectors, are really going to like these because this is going to fall right in line with what you already collect. But this is a great vault pattern for 2022. And as we've talked about, the vault patterns are ones that come out for a year and then they go away, and we don't know how long they're going to be gone. We don't know when or if they're going to come back. So this one's coming in with the clip point, the carbon steel clip point and pin blade right there. And this is the Swell Center Jack. And this one's a stonewash finish, the dark stonewash finish with nail nicks. The handles are red composition with brass pins and liners, and it's got the arrowhead shield, nickel silver on that, and the bolsters. It's 3 inches closed and weighs just 1.7 ounces, coming in at $62.99. And I really like the carbon steel for actually carry and use. I really dig it. It takes a little bit more upkeep, but especially with that dark stonewash finish, it takes me back to my dad's and my granddad's knives. So
you and I have talked about that a lot, and those are real good users. That one's a smaller one, so again, a great fifth pocket knife.
Exactly.
With that small pin blade on there, great for doing detail work, whether you're working on a car and you need to cut a zip tie, or whether you need to do something with carving up close and personal with it. And that red, that is a really, really brilliant red on that one.
It
I
is.
enjoy that one.
I think it's gorgeous. And keeping with the case, we've got a couple of pilot test runs here that are going to be really popular. And I don't know how long these are going to last, being that they're pilot test runs.
With any time that you see anything on the site or in the store that says pilot test run, we can never guarantee how long they're going to last because they're of a limited limited number and a limited quantity. That's the word I was looking for.
Not quality, quantity.
Quantity. It had a Q somewhere in it. But so anytime you see one that you like, anytime you see one that you want to get your hands on while you're here in the store, because remember, anytime you stop under the Big Blue Roof, any knife, ask at the counter. You can handle it, take a look at it, and these are always going fast because you never know how many there are. We don't know how many there are.
Yeah. So these are really, really pretty, and we're first going to show off the red, white, and blue swirl right here. And
did we ever say a price on that red one?
Yes, I did.
I did.
$62.99.
Yes,
I think it was. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you did. Someone's paying attention, and it is not me.
And I believe these two are both the same price. Yes, these are both $59.99.
Yes, sir.
For pilot test run, and these are going to be a traditional trapper pattern. So a traditional trapper size trapper pattern from Case. The first one we're going to take a look at here is going to be the red, white, and blue swirl G10 right there. And that's a really cool design. Got the arrowhead shield with no stamping on it. So it's just the smooth arrowhead shield right there. This is coming in with the True Sharp Surgical Steel clip point and spay blade right there with nail nicks. The handles are the red, white, and blue swirl G10. Brass pins and liners, nickel silver bolsters, and the nickel silver on that arrowhead shield right there. And, of course, a pilot test run stamped on the blade. And this one's coming in. Let me make sure. Hang on. So it's coming in with the 8-dot tang stamp. So that is for 2022. Just want to make sure on that.
It's always better to double check.
So you can always look at your dates by what that tang stamp says. And that's going to be important for any collectors out there, especially with this being a pilot test run. You're going to see a lot of people picking these up for that in particular.
The way that Tony can pick them up, look at it, and know that is amazing to me. I can't keep what day of the week it is in my head some days, and he knows every night.
He remembers numbers.
Yes, he does.
Which blows my mind. But that's a really cool one. And we've got one other one, and this one is going to be the purple and gray and black swirl G10. Let's take a look at that one up close. So this one's going to be the same pattern. The only difference is this one's going to have the diamond nickel silver shield instead of the arrowhead, and it's going to have the purple, gray, and black swirl on the G10. Still got the pilot test run on the blade. Still a trapper pattern, full-size trapper pattern right there.
And just because it says pilot test run on the blade, that does not mean that these are not usable. These are still a great price for a Case American-made knife. Very usable, very carryable, and whenever you bring it out, everybody's going to go, wait, what do you mean you got something I don't?
Right.
So it's a great conversation starter as well.
The only thing we have left to do now would be our pick.
I'm not going to lie, I was actually confused there for a moment. I forgot where we were. All right, you want to go first? You want me to go first? Where you want to go?
You go first with your budget pick.
Okay, I can do that. I went with an American brand as well, with Case and everything else. This is a Bear & Son 109 orange. And it's little, it's light, and I don't know if you've actually got a hold of one of those before.
Yeah, these are really, really cool.
I have been digging these, and to go along with my age and show it here, I have actually been getting away from black knives for lately and dark knives because I lay them down and lose them because everything I own is black.
Right.
So going with brightly colored ones, I can at least tell which one they are and where they are. With that one, it's a 1.5 inch high carbon stainless steel drop point, 2.5 inches closed, 1 ounce. I mean, that's nothing.
1 ounce, yeah.
1 ounce, proudly made in the USA, and $14.99.
$14.99.
$14.99.
That's really freaking cool.
I mean, closed, it's it's a 1.5 inch drop point, 0.5 inches thick, 2.5 inches closed, and 4 inches overall. So, I mean, that one will be on your keychain. You can put it on a backpack, fifth pocket, no problem. Great little utility, everyday knife.
And I think it's really cool that the back spring has the integrated lanyard loop in it on the back end right there. So that's all a one-piece construction for that back spring. I think that's really cool. It adds to the durability of it. You're not talking about separate pieces. And I love being that small. I think this would be a great keychain knife.
Great keychain knife.
And for that price, you can't beat that. Love that pick.
And just that vibrant orange on it. I like that one.
The one that I picked for my budget knife, and this is one that I don't think gets enough, credit. But I really dig the Old Bear stuff. This one right here was made in Maniago, Italy. This is the Old Bear Antonini knives. Medium grafting knife with the walnut handle and the 420 stainless steel blade. So this is a grafting knife. That's why that funny shape right there. We're going to look at this one up close. So this one has a similar barrel lock to what you see on like an Open L. It's a very classic, very old school lock design right there that is very durable. It's also very simple. You don't have to worry about this one malfunctioning or anything like that. It's very simple. So essentially what you do is this lock mechanism will lock the blade closed or open. And you open it up right there, and it's locked, it's in place, and it's not going anywhere.
They call that a ring lock, right?
Barrel lock.
Barrel lock, okay.
Barrel lock. And this one's coming with the walnut, the dark walnut handles, which I think looks really cool. And if you're wondering about this blade shape, so there's a lot of interesting things going on here. This is a single bevel design. So for grafting knives, and the reason why this is a good one, especially for beginners, grafting knives are going to be easier for beginners if they have a single bevel. It's easier to sharpen, and it's going to be easier to control when you're actually using it. And with grafting knives, you definitely want them sharp. Now, for this part right here, that is going to be a bark remover. So you're actually going to use that once you make your cuts right here with your blade edge. You're going to use this swedge piece right here to actually get underneath the bark and wedge it up. That way you're not accidentally cutting it, because this is not sharpened. It's just like a ground swedge. So it's blunt. And so especially if you're using this for very delicate, very thinner barked pieces that you're trying to graft, that's what that's going to be for. And it's really going to make the job a lot easier. So I think that's a great knife right there, coming in at $15.99 for a great traditional knife right there, coming out of Italy. You can't beat that. And if you're, I'm no florist by any means, but I think this is a great option. You know, we've seen and shown ones on here from Victorinox, and there's several companies out there that make great floral knives. I think this one goes unnoticed all too often.
I've got several neighbors that grow different types of apple trees, so they graft their apples back and forth. That would be great for them. And
absolutely.
For $15.99, that's a wonderful one.
You can't beat that.
I like it. I'm cosplaying as TC. Look, I have necklaces.
Jesus.
So my mid-range picks. It's a Kansept. I'm going to sell you on a Kansept here. It's the Kansept Hex egg knife. And look at that little thing.
I like that.
I told you, I'm going for color on knives lately as all get out. And the Hex, you can see where it gets its name right there from the thumb ring if you want to use it as that or anything else. And it is bright. It is colorful. It is lightweight.
I love this. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a 1.9 inch, 14C 28N stainless steel. They're calling it a light green. I don't think that is light green. I call it almost like a zombie green. It almost matches your Demco shirt.
Yeah, almost. It's very close.
It's very nice. They're calling it a finger ring on it. 5.7 inches overall. Weighs in at 1.26 ounces. I really like it. And, of course, it comes with the plastic molded neck sheath on it with a ball chain lanyard. And no matter which shirt you wear that color against, it's going to stand out, except for your Demco shirt. But Kansept lately has been really killing it. I like the jimping on top of it. It gives you that extra one. And then when you flip it over on the ring has jimping as well.
Yep, right there. And we've talked about that. And I've got another knife that I'm going to show when we do what we're carrying. That has that. So if you're actually using it in a defensive position like this, that jimping right there gives you a little bit more control, and it also gives you that index point for your thumb right there. Yeah, I dig that a lot.
Coming in at $42 for that one, and for many of us, that would be a box opener all day long.
Yeah.
Every Amazon package in the store shall fear me when I wear that. $42, great knife, wonderful colors on it, and Kansept has been killing it lately. What was the great big one they came out with? We really like the Comfort.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Love that one.
I'm liking these. They're fun.
Yeah.
And then I get to wear my TC cosplay. It's wonderful. I'm not used to stabbing towards myself. Your turn. Go.
All right. Well, my mid-range is going to be another traditional folder. Shocker. This is going to be the traditional knives version.
We're the old guys. That's what we're here for.
I was down on the sales floor this morning, and I saw this one, and it really jumped out at me because of how affordable this was and how unusual this is to find in a case knife. So I went with the Case Dark Red Peach Seed Jig Bone Carbon Steel Folding Hunter.
Can you say that 3 times fast?
Yeah, no. Nope. So obviously it comes with the leather sheath, the snap sheath that has the belt loop on the back side of it, and this is a pocket hunter. Well, not the mini pocket hunter, but the big hunter. And the reason why I think this is so cool is that it's really hard to come across any of the Case bigs anymore. They don't make a lot of them. They make more of the medium and then the smaller size. So anytime I come across a big Case traditional folder like this, it's pretty special. This one's also coming in with the carbon steel on the blades. These are mirror polished, but it is the carbon steel on the blades. And this thing is fantastic. 8.8 tang stamp. Bleh. There we go. And let's take a look at this one.
That thing?
Right? That's a big one. That's a big one. 8 tang stamp, carbon steel on the blade, and it's not even going to all fit. Oh, yeah, it does. It barely fits.
Barely. Mike Curtis, I want to see pictures of this one. I know you've got one already, or you're going to get this one.
This is the Dark Red Peach Seed Jig Bone Carbon Steel, and it features mirror polished carbon steel blades with nail nicks. The handles are dark red peach seed jig bone with brass pins, liners, and nickel silver bolsters, and the Case Tradition shield. And in case you can't tell right there, that is the propeller shield, which I think looks extremely classy and really good on this.
Very classic.
And it's got the clip point and the Skinner blades. It is 5.25 inches closed and weighs in at just 7.5 ounces, and comes with that leather sheath that has the picture of WR Case on there. I think that's really cool. Actually, even on the snap, it's got the Case XX on the snap right there. So I think that's really cool.
I think that's a great pick. The thing I think people forget about this is because that's natural bone, that's dyed. Every one of them is going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a little bit of stippling on them. There's going to be a little bit of different colorization. So they really are going to be unique to you.
And the back springs, they've done a really good job on the back springs right there.
I can hear that.
Nice and solid, which is really hard to find on a big knife like this. I really dig this. I mean, one of my favorite knives, and that's why I've been gravitating more towards traditional folders, is one of my favorite knives that I own now was my dad's old timer in his folding pocket hunter. And I love it. It really brings back a lot of memories, and that one really means a lot to me. That one's coming in at $87.99 for a fantastic collector's item right there. Whether you want to use it, collect it, put it in a safe, it's definitely going to appreciate over time, especially if you keep it in good condition. So I think that's really special.
You brought your dad's in. We were taking a look at it from over the years of sharpening, how it reground and reprofiled the blade, and I mean, that in and of itself has got a story and a half.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny. And I showed it to a couple of people here, including Tony and Brian, and they were like, "Well, you can tell who used a whetstone."
Yep.
So
I get called an old man a lot because I carry a whetstone. So high-end picks.
High-end picks.
Show off. All right, so I went with a couple of buddies of ours. We've talked to him a couple of times. We got to see him at Blade Show, and I went with a Tor because this one's pretty. I like it.
Yeah.
Now, this is the Tor Kingpin. This one's in yellow G10. It's got that yellow spacer on the back.
Oh, yeah.
And we've seen it before with the paracord wrapping that they had on there. Mm-hmm. And this one's still got the great push sheath to it right there, and you just come out. And that thing is thick.
Yeah, it is.
This is a work knife and a half. I would feel good with this on a tack vest, on a shooting range bag. If I need to use it around the farm, on the tractor, or anything else, this is an all-around workhorse good knife. And that bright yellow again. I'm all about color today. Yeah. I just realized, look at you. You've gone for work knives. You've gone for traditionals. I have gone for my 80s kid is coming out. 80s, 90s kid today.
Oh, absolutely.
So this one, the Tor Kingpin Yellow G10, features a 4-inch CPM 3V Tonto blade with a KG gun coat finish. Yellow G10, G10 handles with that yellow underlayer accent on there. Black Cadak sheath, of course. And the Connor brothers, the Tor brothers, they are out of California, so all made in America. Very responsible with the way that they make things. They're above 90% recycling on each of them now. Tons of veterans work for them. Really good dudes.
Connor, Colin, and Tanner, they are awesome guys. Really dig them and the stuff they're putting out. And one of the things that we noticed, so we did a Willet cut with the Tor Field 2.0.
Yeah, get it over there.
And one thing that I noticed, and you'll notice a lot with the Tor knives, is they're using really thick blade stock. Mm-hmm. Now, what that's doing, and a lot of people don't realize this, but especially in our Willet cut testing, is that creates a blade geometry that is a little more exaggerated. So you're talking about steeper angles. What that does is that actually makes this edge a little bit tougher. Mm-hmm. Because it's coming from a thicker point, so it's going to be thicker down here, closer to that edge. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that it's more difficult when you're hammering it through steel cable for it to actually bite into the blade.
And we did that with 75-pound and 150-pound.
Yeah.
And it went through both.
It did. And I tell you what, the Tor knife, it did so good hammering through really hard objects, and I think that speaks to the durability, and that speaks to the blade geometry that they've come up with. I think it's really cool, and it's something that you're not seeing a lot of right now.
With this one, with the G10 handles on there, you're getting that really good grip. That yellow underliner brings the pop of color. You can always take those off and go with their more traditional. Put your own paracord on there, but this is another option to it. You got that lanyard hole at the back right there. To be able to put your 5 or 7 string on there still and have it for fire starter, for emergencies, for fishing string. This knife is an all-around knife. It really is.
I really dig that thing. That one's coming in at $235.
$235.
Yeah.
That is a little bit higher than what I normally go. Yep. I beat you by $1 on that one. I beat you by like 10 on that one. Let's see if I beat you all the way around. What'd you come up with for your high end?
I got you beat real good on this one. So my high end pick.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Is going to be.
I should have known.
The Kansept Mini Korvid. And I know you're saying, wait, high end pick? Mini Korvid? Yeah. That's because this one's going to be higher end materials. This one's not just the G10 with the 154 CM blade steel. This one's coming in with S35 VN on the blade steel, and that is
S35.
Yep, S35 and anodized titanium, purple anodized titanium on the handle right there. And I tell you what, we did a daily grind on the G10 version,
we did
the
the
Mini
orange.
and the XL. And I mean, I just absolutely dig these. So this one is the Kansept Mini Korvid Purple Titanium. It is anodized titanium. Right there. It features a 1.45 inch S35VN stainless steel cleaver blade. And this one's going to be that stone wash finish. It is a manual folder with a flipper. It is a frame lock. So that's another thing. Like the G10 is going to have the liner lock. This one's going to be the frame lock right there. And so not only is it going to have the back flipper, very easy to use right there. It's also got the front flipper right here. And let's see if I can actually do that. Hang on. Got to have it in my hand just right. Hang on. Let me do that again.
It's getting caught up on your finger.
There it is. There we go. And
what are you going to flip it off of?
I'm going to reverse flick it with my middle finger. Watch this. That is so, like, it's so satisfying, and it's so fidgety, and I love this thing. You can also just do that.
The top thumb roll, I call that a Zippo roll because that's what we always practiced when I was a kid, trying to look cool. And if you've got medium or bigger hands where you're used to putting the knife all the way to the back, you do have to play with it. But man, once you get it,
and you can even do it with your index finger, I think, maybe.
And you know me in frame lock, so I love the fidget factor of it, but I got great big meaty hands.
Yeah.
So
I love this as a little keychain knife. I think that's really cool. Coming in at 104.
Oh, you beat me so bad.
And I mean, just over that edge there. But I'm really digging these little mini Korvids. I think they're really cool.
I'm really loving the Korvids, all the colors they've got on them. And anybody that says it's a great knife, but it's too small, they've got the standard size. They've got the double XL.
Yeah. And I mean, for a box opener, for a box cutter, I mean, you can use this for so many different tasks throughout the day. And it's going to go great on a keychain, too.
And with that one being so small, if you're in an office, if you're going to church, if you're going to town meetings, things like that, it's small enough they're not going to look at you.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
We've all been in that situation where you think, you got a knife?
Yeah.
That's a knife.
Yeah.
We've all got that. All right, so you mentioned in pockets.
Yep.
What do you got in pocket?
Well, today...
Limit yourself. We're already near time.
Yeah. So this is I have an EDC rotation. It hasn't been really much of a rotation for the last month and a half since I got this one. This one we don't have in the store just yet. We are going to be getting it, but I'm really digging this one. It's another tour. This is the XT1. And so this is their first foray into a big, heavy-duty, meaty, military grade folder,
almost overbuilt. It almost goes to that again.
Like I'm really digging this thing. Coming in with S35VN on the blade steel. I love the ergonomics on it. I love the way it feels. I love the recurve blade. And this is that one that I was talking about. So I've covered it up with a lanyard here, but it's also got the jimping right there on the back side. And I'm really, really digging this. I love the way it's made. It's a frame lock, titanium frame lock. It's coming in, like I said, with S35VN on the blade steel, ambi thumb studs, got the titanium pocket clip as well. And honestly, I can reverse flick it there. Like I said, this one hasn't been out of my pocket. This one's coming in fairly steep. It's coming in at $475, but it's right there in the same realm as far as materials, craftsmanship. I'd put it a little bit higher than like the Spyderco stovepipe, something like that. We're talking about the same kind of materials. And so, yeah. And this one's coming in also with the titanium hardware. So it's polished titanium hardware. It's titanium all the way around. And the back spacer, and I talked to the guys at Tor about this, and they were talking about how much they were glad that I appreciated the jimping on that back spacer with the integrated lanyard loop, because that is a piece that is the most difficult for them to mill. And I was like, well, that's one of those small little things. It's a little thing, but it's a big thing. It takes a lot more for them to make a piece like that, but it also means a lot more and shows a lot more as far as the fit and finish goes and the end product.
Well, we've talked about overbuilt folders before, and they're not for everybody. I'm not one of them. I can appreciate them. I can see them. I love being able to go downstairs and hold something like that.
Yeah.
And for that price range, for that person that's looking for that kind of knife, $475, that's not outside the realm with the upgraded steel, the titanium on that, the attention to detail. And like I said, one of the things I really appreciate about the Tors is, again, their business ethics, the recycling they got going on, well above 90% now. Guys, if you've not held a Tor, stop by the store, take a look at them. You got the Frosty Hitter, you got the Suitor, you got the Merchant, you got all of them. They're all great.
Yeah,
I like them.
What do you got in your pocket?
I have two. One, I found it very funny that you pulled that old bear today because I was carrying a Christmas present from Toodle Tom.
Nice. You
Old
got
school,
to open L.
Open L, number 8. This one's with the little stags on it.
Nice.
I really like that you can do them that way. Tom gave that one to me for Christmas several years ago now. I have put that one through heck. But my most carried one recently, and I've got the lanyard on it now that my good buddy TC put on there for me, and it's getting some patina to it, is the Marbles VG10 brass lockback.
Nice.
And I have been using this thing around the farm. The blackberries are coming in, so I'm having to do a lot of different things. It's getting a good patina on it, and that blade, this is my favorite thing.
Nice.
I really dig that, and it's good size, good weight, $26.99.
You can't beat that.
I'm really the guy that's the budget beat all on it, and you can take a look. I have put that knife through some stuff.
$26.99 for a lockback with brass handles and VG10 on the blade steel.
That anodized pivot collar on it. That
absolutely can't beat that. I really dig that one.
One of my neighbors got stuck in the mud the other day, and I was helping him out, and he actually got some grapevine stuck around his axle. He said, "Hey, hand me a knife." I said, "You think I'm carrying a knife?" He said, "When are you not carrying a knife?" I handed that to him. He cut right through that. He said, "Yeah, I'll give you $10 for that." And I said, "I'll tell you where to go to get that. You might have an idea." But that's been my most carried. So
I love it. Well, folks, let us know in the comments down below what you think about all these. We've got the links to all these in the description down below. All you got to do is click on those, and it'll take you right to our website. Also, where our website's concerned, so there's been a lot of issues, and we've been trying to work things out. What was supposed to be a seamless transition was less than, and we were not. It was not communicated. A lot of things weren't communicated or were communicated falsely to us about that in that transition. So we are working through those issues. And what you got to understand is it wasn't just the website that we were moving over to. It was our entire computer system here in the store, our inventory control systems. It was a whole changeover because we were working off of an antiquated system, and trying to move that over proved to be a very difficult transition that we had some issues with.
We're still having some issues.
We're still having some issues with, and we were working through those. It's a slow process, but we thank you so much for staying with us on that. If you have any issues, any questions, be sure to email us, call us, and we'll put the help email in the description below. Where we're going to put our customer service phone number in the description below as well. If you have any issues, don't hesitate to call us because, like I said, we are having some issues, but we are working through those, and we are here for you guys because you guys have been here for us. So we really appreciate that, and we are working on those issues. For those of you that saw the post by our CEO, Tyler Pipes, you know a little bit more about that. And again, we're getting all this stuff cleared up. It's just taking a little bit of time right now, but we're working through it. We've got our Balisong tournament coming up this coming up weekend.
Corbin's going to be here. Do I have to give him my chair
July 2nd. Yes, you've got to give up your chair, Greg. So we're going to have our Balisong contest. If you're in town, anywhere near town, July 2nd, 2 p.m., it's going to be a lot of fun. You need
TC's
to stop
competing
by.
this year.
Am not. No, absolutely not. Also, we have got a really cool promotion going on with WorkSharp. So they've got their Quest 2.0 going on this year. We're going to be one of the first retailers to be a part of it, the only retailer in this region to be a part of it. And so what that's going to entail, it's going to be a Yeti dry box with a lot of work sharp gear in it,
as
well as some gear from us as well. Stickers. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this box out into the woods, onto public land somewhere. Can't tell you where.
Woods, water.
So I'm going to take it out onto public lands. It is going to be hidden with the coordinates. 2 weeks later, we are going to start dropping hints on social media until that box is found. And
it's not going in his shed. It's not going in his attic.
I am not eligible for this. So
we made him sign paperwork for that.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be really cool. We're actually going to have a special video showing just the prep for that box, then showing some hints as to where we're putting it and that kind of thing. And then as we start releasing those hints one at a time, you can start looking for it, and we'll see if anybody can find it. So I've talked to Best Damn ADC Taylor Martin, and he said the two that he put out last year were both found in under 12 hours.
Well, that's because he took a picture of a plant, and somebody knew the plant, and then it was in the middle of a field. I mean, it was very easy with the hint that I gave him. I mean.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to that. We got a lot more cool stuff coming up, so stay tuned for that. And folks, remember, if it cuts like a traditional folder,
like lots of traditional folders.
A lot of them, yeah. Then we carry it.
Dad joke.
Oh, God.
I have a dad
What is
joke.
it?
Okay. You know that a group of owls is called a parliament.
Okay.
A group of caterpillars is called an army.
Yep.
A group of goldfish is called a trouble.
A trouble?
A trouble. So what would two groups of goldfish be called?
Double trouble.
Double trouble. I'm not in management. I can't do that.
Is it news? Because it's new?
Curious.
This is real tight.
You got too much stuff in your pockets. Michael Reed sent it to me. He's going to be doing a second run of these, except they're going to be in red next time.
Bring me my brown pants.
Aha! He does know the joke. Corbin's not here to steal my seat, is he?
Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight.
I do have one more question about that CD15.
Uh-huh.
As time goes by, will it turn into an MP3?
Okay. Anyways. Would you stop trying to jack?
What else you want me to do?
Wow. That's going in the outtake.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Not that one.
Double toil and trouble. My Harry Potter's coming out.
It is.
It's not that hairy.
We can start with no arm and no leg jokes. Jesus. Matt, Bob, one-legged woman jokes. Eileen, she works at IHOP.
Recording.
Are record and record spelled the same?